Hello and welcome to another Parts Factory Australia installation tutorial video. Today I brought my little sidekick along with us. He's going to help us get the job done by giving me emotional support. But realistically we actually probably won't need it because this is a really straightforward job. We're going to be putting a coolant tank on a Mazda BT-50 or Ford Ranger. I think they're the same. I'll show you why. Now these tanks are notorious for getting really brittle around this return line here. You can see how it's already darkening up there, and what happens is you either get a split little pinhole and it starts to spray, or of course this just falls off and cracks and starts leaking and whatnot. This is your return line and it's extremely high temperature water, and that's kind of why it happens. Or you've snapped this. Guys, this job's going to take about 10 minutes. I've got a little trick to show you so you don't have to pull this airbox out. A lot of people will tell you do, but I believe we'll be able to do it without doing that. But could be wrong, have been wrong before. Guys, if you are in need of this part, before we do get started, we have them available at Parts Factory Australia. As you can see, they're just an OEM replica. But the difference is they're actually built with a higher quality material so that this doesn't happen in the near future like other cheap Chinese manufacturers that are our competition. I won't get too far into that, but the point is, guys, if you are in need of this part, check the bottom of this video. I'm going to leave a link in the title. You can click it, it pops down, and that way you can see exactly where to get this from. $73, free express post anywhere in Australia. You really can't go wrong doing it that way, guys. One last thing, guys. We've been given the opportunity to utilize a friend of ours wrecking yard out here in Fairyland in Queensland. We've got over 1,000 cars here at our disposal to do tutorial videos. As you can see, it's extensive. They have over 1,000 cars here, and what I did want to tell you is that they sell used engines. So if you are in the market for used engines, again, I'm going to leave the link in the video. You can check them out. I think they have over 1,000 different used engines available on their website, and they deliver anywhere in Australia. So, you know, definitely worth if you're in the market for a used engine. Alrighty guys, let's jump into the video. Alrighty guys, so first things first, I'm going to pull this little bypass tube off. You literally just press down on those two tabs, and you can bring it over here, and you can just tuck it out of the way like that. Try not to bend it too far, otherwise it'll snap. Now, you've got another one over here, but this time it's a little alligator clamp. We're going to clamp it, and we're going to bring it down the hose. I'm going to leave it about there. Then we're going to grab the hose, and we're going to twist it, like so. Keep twisting until it becomes really soft to do so. That way, you can just wiggle the hose off without too much force. You could just leave that tucked there. Now you got one down there. It does look like we can access it. We're gonna cruise in here. We're gonna squeeze. Oop. We're gonna try that again. We're gonna cruise in, we're gonna squeeze, and we're gonna bring it down the hose. I'm gonna leave it about there. Then we're gonna grab the hose, and we're gonna give it a bit of a twist. It's already quite soft, so we can cruise in here like this, and we can pop that hose off. Now this is this car's been out here for a long time, so it's all evaporated out of the system. However, most likely case for you is that's going to be full of coolant, and it's going to squirt out all over the floor. So make sure you put a towel down, or if you can, use a fluid evacuator. Get all the fluid out of that. That way you don't make a big mess on your garage floor. Right, rest of the steps super straightforward, but I guess our question is can we get that bolt without removing this big airbox? We got one over here which actually doesn't require an extension, so this is obviously the easiest one. I'm going to leave the little 10mm there like that. Now you got one in here. I'm thinking we can get in there without removing the airbox, but the one down the bottom is the one in question, so I'm going to attempt to do it first. Nah, we might not be able to, guys, so this airbox is going to have to come out. That's not a big stress. Yeah, no, it looks fairly straightforward. So we'll pop off this cap with these 3 clips, pop this up, and I first want to see how easy that is to move around. It seems pretty straightforward. We don't want to break this hose, so just be careful with that for now. You got this big airbox here. So this airbox here, there's a 10mm just down the back here. You can just use your big extension, line it up with your hand, and you can pull the whole thing out with your finger. There it is there. So unplug that. I'm going to pull that right out of the way. For you guys, unplug this flathead and pull this cap off. Just get that out of the way. That way it's all out of your way. Now, there's another 10mm for this airbox just down here. Just unsure how I'm going to grab that with my hand. So we're going to see if we can get it to come up together with this airbox. So, yeah, it's literally just two 10mm. Now that we've got the airbox out of the way, we'll grab that little screw and hope to God that just pops up, which it does. So this has actually ended up being really, really straightforward. Now, we need to re-tuck our hose out of the way, like so. Much easier to get in here now. Just here. 10mm. So we've got 3 on the go now. And the beautiful thing is, we can now get that one, which means this bottle should hopefully lift out. Voila. That easy, guys. Definitely remove the airbox. That's my #1 piece of advice. Ended up being super duper straightforward, so don't even muck around with trying to do it any other way. Now, as you can imagine, or as you can see rather, there's a massive hornet's nest back there, so you want to be keeping an eye out for some things like that, but I doubt yours has one of them. Mine's on a random farm in the middle of nowhere. It's now time to put your new one back in. I'm not going to put our new one on this wrecked car, so I'm going to show you how to reinstall this same bottle. But while you're in here, it's always good to check the condition of all your hoses. Mine look excellent, not brittle, still flexible, no cracking. Same thing with this little hose. Looks tidy, everything looks good. And of course, your little ones, which they look awesome as well. Guys, we're gonna bring our bottle straight down, and you literally can just slide it all in. This one slides here, this one slides there. Once you've got it into position, you can actually start with this one, because once you have this one in, the rest is guaranteed to be in line. So we'll tighten this one up. And then you got the one at the back over here. And then of course, you've got this little one down here. Oops. Not too tight where it cracks your new bottle, but not too loose where it just all falls back off. Okay, so it's now time to bring our airbox back in, which is this one here. And remember, you tuck that little tube in under there, and then as you bring it down, you got to line up this dowel here, just pushing the dowel back into where it belongs. And then at this point, you want to make sure none of these little tubes aren't where they're supposed to be. So this one just circles around. You could even throw that on just to make sure that everything's lining up. Same thing here, you can throw that one on. Everything's lining up nicely. Now don't forget you have your 10mm down in the depths. This one you can put in by hand. You can use this side to line up the other side, because if this side's lining up, that side's lining up. Might be a little bit more difficult. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my finger like this, and I'm going to see if I can come down, stab it in quickly, and then you wobble it around and you tighten it as you wobble, and it should just, I got brand new tools, so they're a bit hard to use. It should be nice and easy like that one was. And you got this side over here, guys. Don't forget to tighten them up. They're rubber mounts, so they don't really need to be too tight. At this point we can put our little tube back on, and to do that you literally just press and push, and it just sits there. Remember, it clips into the sides here. It even clips in here, etc, etc, etc. I'm sure you can work all that out. Remember, you've got your air intake box. Now you won't have any dramas with this section. You'll only have dramas with this. So you can just slide it back into here, placing it all back down to where it belongs. like so. Clip in 1, 2. Remember your map sensor needs to be plugged back in, and of course you have this last clip over here. If you can't get it, unclip it off the bottom, lower it in, clip the bottom, clip the top. I'm not going to bother, why would I? Fill it up with coolant, guys, and of course don't forget your alligator clamps. You got one here. Drag it up all the way up to the top of the pipe, placing it back exactly where it once was on this hose, making sure it's nice and straight. You got the same thing down here, a big alligator clip. You can use your big set of pliers, drag it all the way up, and of course placing it exactly where it once was. Fill it up with coolant, run the engine, get it turning over, etc, etc, and it will, if you lost coolant, it will suck the coolant down, refill it, get it up to level. Where's the level meter? On the side here it says max. But guys, if you have any doubts, just go on YouTube, how to prime a cooling system on a Ranger or a BT-50. That way you get it perfect. Okay guys, that's it. The whole job's done. It's taken 10 minutes. I've shown you the one that we sell here at Parts Factory. I've shown you how to put it in, so it's all happy days. Guys, if you have appreciated this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you can, subscribe to the channel. We've got heaps of content like this, DIY installation tutorial videos. But on top of that, we also have a Can-Am X3 Maverick channel. So if you're interested in that type of content, we've got it all here at Parts Factory. So definitely subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you around, and thanks for watching. My name's Lucas. See you later.